My name is Tanya Curry, and this is this week's Acumen Media Report. It's entitled Demure Dricus and Other Cutsies South African Stories. This week was not demure, not mindful, and not cutsies. Yep, that's the line I've chosen to start with. Blame it on the super blue red moon. It's Friday, and I insist on staying cheerful as we scratch the surface wide open on an exhilarating week in South Africa. I have to start with Dricus, you biscuit. He did it. He thrashed Nigerian-born Adesanya in a title defender fight. Dricus won by submission. Such an interesting word, submission. This fight kept us revved up all weekend until the early hours of Sunday morning, where most of us clung on to the now infamous "Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie."
South Africa! Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie!
Originally, the quote was used in the context of farm murders, but today it is used to say that we South Africans are made of magical stuff. We are unique. Dricus had also been for some serious media mentoring, and he put on an impressive performance outside the ring. He turned the locker room banter into a class act when he showed not good but great sportsmanship and grace after winning one hell of a fight. I like him, and even though it took two famous Springboks and a national anthem to rectify any previous reputational damage, he did it. The comeback PR kid is still king of the ring. Between Dricus and Miss South Africa's Chidime, that debacle, the Nigerians are a little peeved at us. Peeved enough to start a xenophobic turf war. Albeit childish, Nigerians and South African nationals are now booking each other Bolt rides and cancelling after the driver makes his way on a fake call in either Nigeria or South Africa.
There's air conditioner in the car. You see me in a minute now, all right?
Sure.
So if you come out now, you see a white Nissan
Simple.
just driving by there.
Sure.
So I need to see you because I don't know exactly where you are.
A blue jean and a white shirt.
Okay, all right.
Sure.
Blue jean, white shirt. All right.
Bolt drivers in these two countries are literally being fleeced day and night. It has gone so far that food deliveries are being added to Bolt drivers' instructions, which in turn is making an impact on fast food outlets as this trend snowballs. Not demure. We can be most mindful as a nation, and we can also be not so cutsies. If you're wondering what this demure nonsense is all about, then you've not been on Instagram or TikTok, and you're probably a better person for it. It is a ridiculously catchy trend that even I'm quite partial to. I know, somebody stop me. There's a transgender woman who's really early in her journey. Picture a 5 o'clock shadow, some serious makeup on a hefty jawline and wearing a wig. She's teaching women how to act like ladies in public. She does arbitrary things like picking up a cell phone and telling us how to behave in a demure manner, to be mindful and cutesy.
Ladies, let's be mindful when we use our phones. You know, me, I keep it very cutesy, very demure. I reply to my text, I get to my emails, I do a few, picky, flickies.
It's hilarious, and it's also bound to become quite annoying. Our week began in earnest with Julius Malema. He'd shaken off the week before and had come out of the corner like Dricus on crack. Wow, did he fire shots and drop fouls like the CIC he is. Yep, he certainly did. Juju is back, and he had his crosshairs on the People's Bay Ndlozi. Apparently, Ndlozi issued the ultimate act of betrayal. Floyd, the then deputy president of the EFF and Juju's longtime chum, left the EFF last week to join Zuma's MK party. That's not the ultimate betrayal, dear friends. No, not at all. And Ndlozi, who is known in Twitter's streets as Julia's water bearer, is married to Mabatu Moncho. Mabatu liked a social media post where Floyd crowed about joining MK and how wonderful this new party was. This click of a like button was the ultimate betrayal.
How can someone say the decision to join Umkhonto weSizwe is the best decision ever taken?
and my wife Mantra is the first one to like such a thing, and you say, Julius Malema is with us, when the partner likes the things that seeks to denounce the organization and where the organization stands.
Definitely not demure, not mindful, and according to Julius, not cutesies. Julius was on fire. He raged like only Juju can. He called on all traitors to leave and leave now.
Leave now so that we can know how many soldiers we have in this struggle to liberate our people. You must leave today because nothing is going to change between now and December. Nothing is going to change now and in the future. The future looks bright because we determine it today. We are here to make our destiny for how the future looks like tomorrow. Leave now. We have no reason to beg anyone. If you want to leave, leave now and leave us alone. Even if we are alone, we'll always continue to speak.
He spat venom at his own comrades as he blamed them for wards that fell below 10% in the latest election. He said those wards would be broken down and if he had to oversee it himself. It was brutal, it was Malema, but his flip-flopping is becoming tired and we stare at our screens wondering if this is truly the demise of the red tide. After Malema's address, Floyd Shivambu had to have a retort, right? He had no choice. So Ubaba Jacob called a press conference to announce his lineup. Yes, those words were used deliberately. Lineup. Firstly, because there's one thing the MK party is filled with, and that is open court cases. And secondly, because Zuma made them all line up behind him as the speaker called out their names. They had to stand for an age before they were allowed to finally take their seats. This after begging permission from Ubaba.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Leadership, you can go back to your seats if the media is done. I'm sure they're done now. No? Okay. Sit down, please. Yeah. Commander Donda, you can smile a bit. The media colleagues are complaining that your complexion makes it difficult to capture you. Thank you, commanders. Thank you. No, thank you. I think it should be good now. Thank you, leadership.
This place is a circus, guys, not demure at all. Anyway, Floyd got lost on his way to the podium and we saw exactly why this party is labelled as disorganised. It also took a good 5 minutes for Floyd to get to point B, where he could finally talk. When he did open his mouth, it was to a mute microphone, but I found him quite, dare I say it, demure. In the true sense of the word, he was toned down, volume lowered, and he was almost coy. Almost. Fascinating to watch. After Floyd's speech and now with direction to the podiums, we had a run of speakers at the MK's event, and then there were questions from the media, and then another run of speakers before finally Zuma stood up and told us that all his inmates had answered all the questions.
Well, there were questions that were directed to me. Fortunately, my colleagues have answered those questions.
What was left was for him to tell us that in 19 Futsak, white people worked together to make sure black people didn't have the same rights. He does this very irritating thing. No, not the cough and the laugh. Also not the middle finger to the glasses in the audience. He asked the audience to answer things he pretends he's forgotten, like the name of the town, Vereniging.
It was a discussion or a meeting of, which was at, what is this place near Johannesburg? Vereniging.
Which he mentioned only 3 sentences ago. But regardless, the crowd cooed like morons. Duduzile was there with her terrifying smile that is so wide you may fall under a spell or into a well. She frightens the life out of me, that chick, the insurrection master. At the exact same time, we had 2 other major stories breaking. Check this timing out. Paul Mashatile, our current deputy president, signed the next stage of the NHI implementation. And the same Paul Mashatile's VIP protection unit was in court for beating up a civilian by kicking him across the tarmac in a road rage incident. The same incident that we were told didn't happen, even though it is on camera, the same incident we were told was merely a driver getting out of a vehicle on a motorway to have a pee. Remember that one? That was postponed to February of next year, so let's just leave that there then, shall we? It was brilliant to see television media split screens show all the events unfolding at once. It's just a game for these politicians, and they actually still think we are buying this rubbish. Cutsies. MK have had a busy week. The man who registered and founded the party, Jabulani Khumalo, was dismissed by the leadership of MK as an attention-seeking fraudster. Isn't that literally their core values in a candidate? I'm confused. And I'm not the only one. There are 10 expelled MK members who are still MPs. What is going on, guys? Then the impeached ex-judge Hlophe tried to get reprieve from the Concourt, the highest court in the land, the same court Zuma disobeyed and started an insurrection over. Now Zuma's head honcho is trying to use the court to reinstate him. What is happening? This is not demure at all. In other politics, 22 Action SA members quit as Mashaba solidified his strategy with the ANC. IFP member Zondo has been put on special leave amidst rape allegations. Ace Makashile's PA, Cholota, hit back at the courts, but it's unlikely to sway them. Panyaza Lesufi, in an explosive interview, said that the ANC is a sinking ship.
Instead of all of us trying to check and save this ship from sinking, we're squabbling amongst ourselves on who must take ownership of the ship. You can take the ownership of the ship, but the ship will be at the belly of the sea and it will be meaningless.
Let's be fair, Panyaza. It's not only the ANC. Look around you, pal. There's hardly a party standing. Not demure. Definitely not mindful bunch, these. And Cutsies? No ways. And where on earth is Cupcake? The president has an eye infection that has kept him away from work all week. It may also be related to the fact that the accused from the Pala Pala couch story have appeared in court, or could have been some of these headlines which would make anyone hide under the bed. City of Joburg workers shut down highways in a pay strike. Construction mafia run rampant across our country, and we learn that 1 in 25 children will die before the age of 5. I'm trying to be cheerful, it's just the news that keeps getting in the way. A grade 11 pupil was assassinated. There was a drug bust worth 80 million. Diepsloot turned into a war zone again as illegal electricity connections were cut off. A 53-year-old teacher sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl. 2 murder suspects were shot in Kwadukuza. There was a mass shooting in Umlazi. A mother poisoned her child and a woman was hacked to death in a domestic abuse case in Louis Trichardt. And then this. Devni Null, a grade 10 learner, 16, was stabbed in the neck and chest and dragged to the school storeroom and left lifeless. The killer is alleged a fellow learner and, as he is a minor, he cannot be named. This guy is 17, and Devni's parents and various lobby groups are calling for him to be tried as a man and not a juvenile. Here. This murder, most heinous, deserves our full attention. When our schools become a battleground, we've already lost the good fight. On the subject of children in schools, who amongst us didn't benefit from William Smith, the legendary television mathematics teacher? I loved mathematics, so I used to watch him for hours. He passed away this week, and the legacy he left will long remain. Rest in peace, our dearest teacher, William Smith. Thank you for serving your country, sir. Very mindful, very demure, very cutesies. Completely unlike Stats SA, who couldn't get their maths right if you paid them. They released their annual study and then retracted it less than 2 days later. The numbers don't add up, you see. This is not accounting, guys. There should be no funny numbers here. Act demure. Stats make a massive impact on our country. We are told that KZN is suffering from food and water scarcity. Now that's a stat that needs televising, not some random percentages. Come on, be mindful. I've long run out of words, good people. I didn't mention it's been 3 years since Babita Decoran was assassinated, nor did we even focus on the murder of the pastry chef. I guess you know that the panga-wielding pastor Mboro was denied bail. Let me wrap this up. There's a drop in inflation. Yay! And a massive cold front. Boo! And there's no movement on the Senzo trial, but Boosie Madam Makwabani is back in court trying to get her grubby mitts on another $1 million. So not demure. The Springboks are back on the field and taking names. Sport, the great South African saviour. And then we have Gayson, the nation's darling. I watch him weigh in every Wednesday on his journey to wellness. I really like this oak. He's so demure, so cutesies, so mindful. Across the borders, they found a massive diamond in Botswana. Don't show King Charles, will you? It's huge. Trump had his first outdoor rally post the assassination attempt. There was no Donald Duck. Elon Musk and Trump are having a love affair as Elon says he is ready to serve. Help me. Trump tried to fake Taylor Swift's endorsement. That was not cutesies at all. And then Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez have broken up. Saddies. A yacht carrying tech tycoon sank off the coast of Sicily. Hectic. Ronaldo opened a YouTube channel, pulling 4 million subscribers in 24 hours. And actor Alain Delon passed away. In his will, he wanted his dog euthanized and buried with him. No, that's not what's going to happen. It's not mindful, unless you're the pharaoh. I'm gone. The sign is up on the door. It says, gone to find a potato bass. Don't call, don't write. Be mindful, be demure. Happy weekend. I hope it's cutesies. And thank you for scratching the surface with me and Acumen Media.